Very good morning to each and every one of us in the TBC community. This is John once again. And today is the 21st of July, and I want to highlight to you uh, a recent post on the blog, which is the most active so far. It says here that admin now increase our cookie reward by 5 bonus until the 21st of July in 2018. This is excellent times the value of cookies that are going to be given to us. How a special offer will affect the value of all cookie rewards buyers for all categories until then this promotion. This is a promotion that just started, and it just started yesterday. It will run until the 20th July for 1 full month. So how does this work? And starting from yesterday, the reward of cookies for broadcasters will be at 5 million cookies for producers. The incentive is even much greater. For every 100 paid referrals, you would be able to get 5 billion cookies. So just to recap, broadcasters will get 5 million cookies, while basic members will get 5,000 cookies for attending send button meetings. So this is another incentive for uh, the attending of send button meetings. If we are already broadcasters and we have the send button meeting, send button on in our back office, and while we attend the send button meetings, we would be rewarded with 5 million cookies each time. Whereas if they are not broadcasters, they are just members with the send button on and they attend the send button meeting, they only qualify for 5,000 cookies. Now, the next exciting thing is broadcasters will get 500 million cookies or 5 BBC coins, while basic members will get 500,000 cookies for every 10 or for every $100 purchased during this special promotion of 30 days. So consider this, a brand new member that has never been with TBC before will get a gift of $10,000 of cookies, and they are encouraged to buy $100 in cookies in Kindles to get the 40,000 in cookie reward without having to do a broadcast. So all in all, they will get $50,000. So this buyer, if he's a new member, he would only spend $110 and he would have enough cookies in November to access the $50,000 worth of Pringles. Now this is even better offer than the ongoing 5% daily growth offer, which doubles our money every 2 weeks in the TBC uh, back office. Now consider this. Let's make a comparison. Uh, as of previously, when it is, let's compare that in the previous um, offer without the incentive, without the increase, increase would be a double increase in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, which is the 7th of July, your $100 will double to $200. But in July, by 10, by the 21st of July, it would have become 4 times the amount. That means to say the $100 will become $400. What about in August? August, on the 7th of August, the $100 become 800, but on the 21st August with the incentive, now it becomes 1,600. So it goes on until October when the $100 becomes $25,600. And in November, on the November the 1st, you can redeem the full amount into coins. So as the TBC community continues to grow between now and November, this $50,000 example will be worth even more during the November redemption period. So for the new member who comes in, all he has to do is just pay $100. And by November, he would have $50,000. This is one of our best offers ever for a basic member of our community. So during our last redemption period, which was extended until 15th of June, all members were treated like they were broadcasters when it came to uh, cookie rewards, but very few stepped forward to become broadcasters. Now, let us understand that our long-term vision, our long-term mission as well, is to be able to create and have a massive group of YouTube broadcasters sharing about TBC, teaching about TBC, and promoting TBC worldwide. The idea and the innovation of an abundance-based currency will need to be perceived, will need to be presented, will need to be accepted by a large group of people. This is the very basic uh, ingredient of having a successful TBC program. Now, it is a fact that though we have a number of members numbering over 3 million, but many are still shy, many are still unsure of themselves, and they have not put their hands or they have not tried their hands into broadcasting. But we want to also encourage our members and partners who are already broadcasters and they are doing well and they are moving forward. And we also understand that the elites, all the powers that be in the world, they have worked very, very hard to get us away from what God has provided for us in nature, which is the abundance of blessing, the abundance of producers, the abundance of wealth. And now we are convinced by the elites, we have been brainwashed by the elites that we must act as the normal way of life. Now, when we are talking of scarcity, this is actually not God's way of thinking. providing for his people. Artificial scarcity that is wrapped up in a gigantic deception, which has been propagated, which has been promoted, which has been instilled to us and brainwashed and drummed into our mind through the news, through the movies, and through the education system that the elites of the world produce and are implementing among the people now. Now, do you know that in this world, life on earth has been by the elites? Yeah, this is successful. They greater share than the 9% has been recorded, and this has been proven by the people who are uh, writing the magazine or the publication known as The Economist. The Economist caters to the 1% elites of the world, and they are like the most people that are controlling the whole world population. And we are being cheated, we are being, ripped off in a financial sense of our time, of our energy, of the efforts that we have put in. We have been greatly exploited by the elites. It goes down from the very rich countries to the poorest countries. The elites has been in control and they have been ripping us and they are telling us that there is so much of scarcity, there is so much of poverty that is going on. Now, is the first, do we have an answer to these evil plans of the elites? How can we poverty plan that the elites of the world has upon the world? And how can we escape the clutches and the traps and the ensnared elites with Bitcoin? Is an answer for all of us in the world. It has been designed to be an easy and simple solution to lift the poor out of poverty in just a matter of a few short months. Now, you may not consider yourself to be poor, right? But let's face it, you are not a billionaire, right? Would you like to be a billionaire? Most would immediately say no to that question. And once again, that would be another example of the mind control and the conditioning that you are under. The truth is, you don't need a billion to be happy. But if you have a billion, you would have the power to also make a lot of other people happy, right? Now, how can we return the world to a state of abundance and prosperity? We have to change everyone's mindset. It starts from the mind. It originates in the mind. Once the mind thinks, the person reacts according the way. So now we need to start changing the mind of the people from being negative, from being submissive, to being independent and to being confident. This is the only way. When everyone believes in abundance and prosperity for all, that's when there are more warriors out there doing the best they can has changed for the better. Now, we understand we need to wake up. It is not an easy thing to do. Perhaps if there was $1 billion incentive to wake up to the good life, maybe that will work. Well, the $1 billion coin begins, we are starting a new thing in the world. And all you need potentially is just one PVC coin, which would make a bill and mature and very fortunate if you found this when the coin was at about a penny. No matter what you pay for your TBC coins, you are in the position to become very wealthy over time. Just owning this TBC coins is not enough to become wealthy. It is adequate to become wealthy. And that is what this section is dedicated to you and acknowledge. But if you take time needed to get educated, then you would become wealthy. And if you are not lazy, also become wealthy. Lazy people become wealthy. You are convinced and you there is not enough synergy. There is not enough force. There is not enough power in within the TBC community to create a move that would eradicate or to overcome poverty. Now, the elite design it this way, and they know that their system perpetuates poverty forever. The elites are parasite on what God has created and literally suck the lifeblood of people away from them into their position of power over the people. But TBC is here to restore the birthrights of the people granted to God by God back to the people. TBC is the money of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our success in TBC will change the whole world for the better, creating a state of abundance for all. So we understand that TBC has a mission, TBC is with the mission, and TBC is for the people, and it is created by the people, not governments, not the elites, but by the people who are having a vision and who are prepared to run with the vision. And their purpose is not being selfish. Their purpose is not for the few chosen ones, but their purpose and the plan is for the people of the world. So this is the sole aim of TBC. TBC wants to change the world uh, uh, from poverty, scarcity, to a state of abundance for all, irrespective of where you may be. However, perception is the main obstacle in the path to turn TBC into a success. The perception of many members who are in TBC, they lack vision, they lack understanding, they lack education. Now, what all this means is unless they understand the full concept, unless they understand the full vision, and unless they understand how TBC works, then it would not achieve, or it will be a long way from achieving the success that TBC was originally planned to be. Now, how do we overcome this mediocre kind of attitude? Now, we need more broadcasters. We need people to enlighten the other members. We need broadcasters to share their passion, share their understanding, share their knowledge of how TBC works and how to draw the crowd, draw the masses into a new version of reality, realizing that TBC is indeed the the program that would be able to overcome poverty in the world. Now, the millions of members in TBC need to open their eyes and need to realize this and need to catch the same vision, that same goal, and to move forward with this. Concept is that the more leaders, the more wisdom we can spread. And the more leaders we have, the more potent we are. Imagine that when we have got leaders in every city, in every community, in every state, in every country in the world, it does not matter whether the country is a developing country or already a developed country. In fact, we see the most activities today in developing countries in the third world. We see, for example, countries that are in Africa that are ridden by poverty by and large. Countries in Asia, South Asia, in India, Pakistan, in Papua New Guinea, in Southeast Asia, and Latin America, countries that are predominantly comprising of the poor, the downtrodden, which has been engineered by the elites of the world. We see that the leaders of TBC in these countries, they have a passion, they have a dedication and a commitment to help their fellow countrymen, and they are bringing this vision of TBC to the grassroots. We really want to thank all those leaders that are in these developing countries. They are organizing seminars, they are organizing conferences, they are organizing events, promotions that are drawing the masses in their own country. For example, in a few months' time, in Papua New Guinea, they are going to have a big conference and they're going to bring in international participants as well. Imagine that Papua New Guinea is still a developing country. Having been to Papua New Guinea, I have seen the level of understanding, the level of affluence that is there, which is far from what we see in the West. 80% of the people are still living below the poverty line. 80% of the people still lack education. 80% of the people has no opportunity to rise up. But now, that we are seeing such dedication from the national leaders of TBC in Papua New Guinea. It amazes us to see the commitment, the dedication that the leaders has put in, and I am now seeing that there are hundreds of thousands of TBCians in this small nation of Papua New Guinea. What about their neighbor in Indonesia? It is the same story now. In Indonesia, there are also uh, hundreds of thousands of members that are signed up in Indonesia. Again, Indonesia is a very, very large country. It has got thousands of islands that are unreachable by land. Their communication is by boat, and it is as though they are still living in the old ages where there is no communication by road, but mainly by water. And they only have uh, uh, satellite television, and they have got difficulty in getting utilities like electricity and water and all that. But nevertheless, what the government cannot do or find it hard to do, TBC now is stepping into the picture. TBC is now training, recruiting, and uh, building up hundreds of thousands of members in Indonesia. And now they have already started their own ecosystem where they are doing trading, buying and selling using the TBC currency. Again, in the Philippines, this is already an astonishing fact that has been established. The world has begun to open their eyes to the Philippines. The Philippines, again, they are also living, by and large, they are also living below the poverty line. It is only some of the wealthy ones in the city that are doing well. Otherwise, the general population is living below the poverty line. And now they have been able to uh, have an agreement with the Filipino government and the Filipino central bank that among 110 tribes that are spread out throughout the Philippines, they come under a paramount ruler, a paramount king of all the 110 tribes. And they have signed a memorandum of article with the government, with the central bank, that among the 110 tribes, they now are using an alternate currency, which is the TBC kringle. And among themselves, now they are not using the peso as much as if they did. Now they can buy cars, they can buy four-wheel drive, they can buy houses, they can buy computers, they can buy all kinds of consumable products, all using TPC Pringles. Now, this is what the whole vision and the whole program of TBC is all about, that we overcome uh, poverty, global poverty, and we become a community by ourselves. We become a community that uses our own currency, and we continue to become a blessing to one another. So, here again, in order to propagate, in order to promote this, the only way to do it is through the broadcasters. Admin is limited in reaching out to the people. It is the network of broadcasters worldwide, positioned wherever we are, and accessible to one and all through the internet. As I said, some have good internet connection, some may have slower connection, but nevertheless, when the broadcasters, hundreds and thousands of us, begin to broadcast in all languages from every town, city, and country, we reach out to the masses of the world. We reach out to the poor in the world, and we would be able to build a TBC economy. We will be able to build a TBC community that would be able to make millionaires and billionaires for their own members. So let us understand that building the economy, the TBC economy, depends very much on you and I. It depends very much on the basic members who are ready to do what we are required to do. So rise up and become a broadcaster. A million broadcasters will be more than enough to change the perspective of almost everyone on earth because we speak the truth out loud. So can you imagine that a million broadcasters are positioned throughout the world strategically, throughout the known world, whether we are in the north, south, east, or west, whether we are in Asia, whether we are in Europe, we are in North America, South America, or even in the cold region of the North and South Pole, we would have broadcasters stationed everywhere. Remember this, there is a five-fold bonus for broadcasters. And for every $100 that the broadcasters expend to purchase a coin, it is worth about $40 billion. This is an enormous reward. Just imagine what you can benefit, what you can gain as a broadcaster. So therefore, become a broadcaster and make broadcasts, and rewards will become unlimited. And purchase as much as you like as a broadcaster. For every set of $100 purchase, you will receive $40 billion in turn in the form of grains of gold. So once you get started, you will enjoy doing broadcasting on the long term basis. So many of us who are broadcasters today, we have become very uh, comfortable. We have become very at home in being a broadcaster and being able to prepare broadcasts and to present broadcasts on a daily basis. So the billionaire status, it is within the reach of those who choose to become broadcasters. BBC admin has given us the platform. BBC admin has given us the opportunity. BBC admin has given us the encouragement. BBC admin is telling us, come on board, become a broadcaster, become a billionaire in the making. This is what is offered to you and I. It is for you to take the vision, run with the vision, and also to achieve the vision. So thank you for listening. Uh, I hope that you have benefited and you have learned a lot of information on this broadcast today. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.